let's get started. So, I will be only for a couple of SCPs since I have to go to sleep early. Yeah, of course, tomorrow is Monday, so I understand that not everybody has time to watch the whole full stream today, but let's just get as many as we can done before you have to go. Silber Escher is our author of today's of this SCP that we're reading right now. The previous one that they wrote is 2005, which, if we look at my channel, oh yes, 2005 is about the SCP that it's a robot that's being sent by aliens because but it's like it's an alien's idea of what our future would look like technology-wise, but their version of our future is very outdated. So the robot looks actually a lot older, like a lot more rustic than what we actually would have in the future. So that was 2005. That's the one that I wrote before. And now, Silber Escher, you wrote Cog of Duty. Okay. And it sounds like maybe we're going to be sticking to the sci-fi theme of that. Who knows? Who knows? But there we go. We're in it today. Okay. Object class, Euclid. Special containment procedures, SCP-2360 instances are to be contained in cells shielded with a Faraday cage. We had another SCP that had something with Faraday, but yeah. Its containment site must be equipped with an EM interference generator in case of cage failure. Augmentations may be serviced by qualified personnel upon request. SCP-2360 are to be administered to 2360 liquid feed in place of the standard humanoid SCP meal plan. Okay, humanoid. That's interesting. And only feeding liquid. Access to the standard humanoid meal plan is permitted at researcher discretion as incentives for good behavior. Okay. Access to system link play. So it's not like they cannot have normal meals, but looks like they have to earn it. Access to system link play to SCP-2360's game disks may be revoked as punishment for unwanted behavior at researcher discretion. However, it is much more compliant and sedentary when allowed these privileges. It almost feels like they're treating it very much like a child. So I wonder if it's mentally, if it's young. SCP-2360's local area network time is to be strictly scheduled. It may be given up to 3 hours per day as a maximum of 6 days per week. Personnel engaged in play against SCP-2360 are to maintain a minimum 1-to-2 kill-death ratio against SCP-2360. Oh, okay, wait a minute. Wait, hold on now. I have a bit of a hunch. Those who fall below this threshold for more than one session will be replaced. If SCP-2360 begins to exhibit signs of an impending Libanic event, server network connection immediately execute the Upasana procedure. So, the 1-to-2 kill-death ratio and playing against them. So, Cog of Duty is definitely a reference to Call of Duty. There's no way. You're gonna tell me kill the death ratio against you? Yeah, sure. Okay, let's see what the description says. I have a feeling I might be onto something here. SCP-2360 is a set of 3 male humans who have been augmented internally with electronic systems of identical design. 3. We're going to have the main 3 consoles. SCP-2360's primary augmentation is a set of custom-built packs fused to the spinal column, which contain the components of an Xbox 360 video game console. Disassembled and arranged to fit mostly within the body. Okay, so only Xbox. Listen, people. I like gaming. Okay, I'm a big gamer. But no way in hell will I ever allow somebody to build an Xbox into my stomach. You keep that shit at home. You keep that at home. The only thing you can take with our handheld consoles. Don't make my body into a handheld console. Full body console. Yeah, don't do that. Do not do that. I'm okay. I don't need to be able to play games everywhere I go. Certain parts have been modified to increase console longevity. See SCP-2360 component log. Audio-visual data is transmitted subdermally to... They say some words that pop up in this fucking article, man. Okay, how do you say this?
How do you say this?
Pronunciation.
Cochlear.
Cochlear. Oh. That's the... Okay, cochlear. I did not know that's how it's spelled. And ocular implants. The cochlear implants are internal and not visible without use of scanning equipment. However, SCP-2360's eye sockets have been fully restructured to house artificial electronics eye capable of HDMI interpolation. Possible methods include X-ray or ultrasound imaging. MRI is not feasible for obvious reasons. I mean, it's still pretty impressive that its eyes can do X-ray scans. That is... Okay, SCP-2360's irises contain light-emitting diodes that produce a green glow when the game console is activated. Oh, wait. Hold on. Invisible without screen. Ah, I get it. Never mind. It's not the eyes. It's the console itself. But the eyes do glow green when the game console is activated. According to SCP-2360, this is a cosmetic effect. So it's the Xbox green ring when you power it up. Okay. Do I press the I to power it down again? SCP-2360's wrists bear wrist-mounted prongs which end in controller inputs. These prongs fold back when not in use to allow freedom of movement. SCP-2360's palms and fingers are incapable of perspiration. This is compensated for as the wrist-mounted input system also contains controls for a subdermal water cooling system and for hair-sized muscle stimulation devices which are intended to provide increased reaction time. The augmentations receive power through integration with the digestive systems of the hosts, which have been modified. SCP-2360 is capable of sustaining life and operation indefinitely when administered sufficient amounts of a specially formulated liquid feed taken orally, which contains high fructose corn syrup, caffeine, orange juice, sodium benzoate, okay, and brominated vegetable oil, among other ingredients. That explains why they... Interesting how they have to have liquid food. You would think that... Ooh, scratch your throat. You would think solid food would be more ideal, but maybe solid food is like takes a lot of processing power. Goddamn. SCP-2360's primary function is the operation of the game Call of Duty Modern Warfare. In non-containment environments, it uses its consoles to access online multiplayer functions and operates them continuously until it requires rest. During early use, SCP-2360 communicates among itself and with other players using an internal microphone. However, after between 20 minutes and 1 hour of playtime, instances of SCP-2360 became synchronized. At this point, game footage taken during tests shows the three players acting precisely in sync, concentrating fire, spotting concealed threats, etc., without any apparent communication between them. Oh, that might... It uses the liquid as cooling. Oh. You know, that I can actually, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Cooling and energy, you know. It's still humanoid, so it still has to eat. But yeah, that's why, like, maybe like having actual meals might just be too much to bear for its body. But the fact that it's saying here like that it has been synchronized without them telling each other might come across as odd to any other player. I mean, nowadays you would just argue like, well, it's Discord. You just, you know, you're on a call and all that stuff, but who knows. But it's still like very like inhumanly in sync, most likely. When not connected to online services, SCP-2360 is capable of using wireless networking adapters to play over a local system link connection. However, synchronization is never achieved during local play. Initially, containment procedures prevented this behavior. After protests by SCP-2360, it was relocated to a different chamber within the site so that its augmentations can communicate with each other without allowing access to online services. Okay, interesting. Soon after this change, SCP-2360 demands to be allowed access to online play grew more severe, citing religious persecution. A little bit extreme, don't you think? People would assume they are bots and get banned. Yeah, probably. But can you imagine? Can you imagine you want to play a game so bad? Like you are not allowed to play online games, and you want to play so bad that you would religiously persecute somebody to play around. I mean, to be fair, with how addicted some people get to gaming, it could happen. This culminated in refusal to consume meals, refusal to ingest liquid feed, and eventually direct biological and mechanical self-harm. Foundation personnel negotiated a compromise in which SCP-2360 is allowed limited scheduled local area network (LAN) play against selected Foundation personnel. However, statements made by SCP-2360 indicate this may cause a Nimbanic event based on a success in-game as a result. As a result, SCP-2360's opponents must be carefully selected and countermeasures have been established. Can you imagine, like, your job is to play Call of Duty against an anomaly, but you have to play in a specific way every time. You cannot play the game to lose or play the game to overly win. You have to constantly be like very close. LAN privileges were initially granted on a probationary basis, but following a significant increase in SCP object compliance, the schedule has been extended indefinitely. And here we have an interview A excerpt. Okay, so interviewer doesn't have a name. It's not a doctor, not an Asian. It's just, and then oh god, there's like 3 of the SCP. I have to give. Okay, at least I have to give 4 different voices. So, how about we give the interviewer a. They cite religious persecution, so they don't do the persecution, but when they are denied from playing, they compare themselves to being religiously persecuted. It's how it goes. It's how it goes sometimes. Okay, let's get the interviewer a. Tell me how you receive these augmentations. What? Like, from the beginning? That would be preferable. Yes.
We got invited to this youth program.
Yeah. Well, this part is over.
At first we came for the free food, but after a few weeks, the church father's message spoke to us.
We realized we were broken. Broken. And only God could heal us. God? You never heard of God? I'm asking which deity you were referring to. I already forgot what kind of words I gave C. So wait, I gave A, the more like and then C probably more, yeah. C more like, yeah, okay. God, man. He was broken himself in our image. You were referring to the Church of the Broken God. Oh, of course they're back. Of course they're back. That's the name for it, yeah. The father said his house was non-denominational, but it respected innovationalist and integrationist doctrines. Really focus on the present. Innovationist and integrationist. Innovationism, it's like God's in us. He's in you too. So when we innovate, when we create new technology, and let's check. Okay, we don't have to watch. This is just another SCP that we already read, so we're good. Fly. That's making a piece of him, bro. That's bringing us closer. Hey, you an engineer? And what does integrationist mean?
Well, we got to get as close to God as possible.
And if new technology is part of God, that's how we can dedicate our bodies to Him.
And is that why you've been modified like that?
The thought was like, the time when you feel most at one with the machine, that's when you want to make it part of you.
And the four of us knew it was when we played COD or COD.
So here we are.
The four of you. Yeah, Walls had it done too.
But 360s have like a 25% failure rate. He didn't talk to us much after that.
So there were okay, there was a -D, but it looks like.
Also, he said 360 have a 25% failure rate. So does that mean the other humanoids out there with other consoles implemented inside them? Is it like somebody walking around with a Nintendo Wii? Which would be. How would that work? Like, would you have to like? How would the motion controls work if a Nintendo Wii was implanted inside you? Questions after questions. Interview log -B excerpt. Okay.
Why do you play this game constantly?
The interviewer points to one of SCP-2360's game discs stored in a jewel case.
It's how we're gonna transcend.
Like meditation, except epic.
Every point we score, we get closer.
Every match we win, that's a step away from meat space. Meat space.
Don't like that. Don't like that. You could have said heaven. you could have said nirvana. You could have said Valhalla.
But you went with meat space. Really? Come.
Ooh. Okay, well, let's go on. We are the most pro that there has ever been.
The aimbot is
within us.
And we will reach heaven with no scopes.
Except, we can't do it playing against each other.
We have to frag those who aren't in the clan.
Otherwise, it's just practice.
It's lame.
There
is no God in lame. Should I tell them? Don't, Kamal.
I'm afraid we can't provide the agreed incentives if you hold information from us.
All right. Go for it. A couple months ago, some alarms started blaring, right? And we all saw this blinding red light. And when we turned our eyes back on, the doors and ceilings of our cells were halfway melted off. It smelled like maple syrup and ass. And Hunter, he says,
well, I've tried to watch my language since I started becoming whole, but I said, shit, see if you can get on live.
Wait. Yeah, that's the right voice. All the guards were running after it, yelling, someone turned off the main generator before the effer finds it. So we managed to connect to the servers for a little team deathmatch.
But the servers were
barren.
We found someone and asked whether a new guard was out since we last connected.
He said
there have been like 6.
We looked for the bros we usually played with, but they were in different games.
And then the guy we had been talking to DC'd.
We didn't have time to change servers. We just sort of ran around the map while he called us into the new cells.
Until the signals went out. Is that all?
What do you mean?
Did you perform any other actions while connecting to online services? Did you communicate with outside individuals about any subject other than Call of Duty?
Nope. I didn't.
Neither did I. We were too busy trying to play. Noted. This will be verified, and if it's true, we may show leniency on you for your honesty and relative lack of activity during the breach. Thanks, man. Can I just ask one more thing? You may. Is the new Xbox out?
The 720?
or the 362, or the one after the one inside us is what we're asking about. I'm afraid I can't divulge that information until I've cleared it with a supervisor. That's fine. Totally fine. End of log. Now, we have somebody watching us who's not on Twitch. She's a dear friend of mine, and I'm just going to explain to her real quickly. I'm going to quickly go to my SCP Twitter and do a post. That's why you're going to hear me like mumble a little bit of saying some stuff. Hashtag SCP2. Oops. 2360. Just a couple bros with Xbox consoles built into them. They wanna be the very best and play as much as I can. I love gaming, but I don't want a console built into me. I am good. Thank you very much. But if you want to play around, I'm down. Alright, and what do you have here? In the discussion, the author posted some extra information, so I'm going to post it here. Innovationism is a relatively small and newly formed sect of the Church of the Broken God, created as a reaction to the changing relationship between humanity and machines. While it's not much now, it grows in relevance and popularity as topics like transhumanism reach the forefront of social discussion, and it becomes the religion followed by the U.S. president in 2040, W.W. Solenoid, as mentioned in SCP-205. This particular church father claims to be a former missionary who immigrated from China due to religious persecution. In fact, he escaped due to the situation regarding his work with the Chaos Insurgency, whose progressive attitude about human augmentation has led to cooperation with members of the church, as well as the Chinese government, who has dabbled with sort of thing before. This last bit has a link to SCP-326. Okay. I already read 326, so we don't need the link for that either. But interesting. Okay, that explains some stuff. So I'm going to just ask Sippy. This was your first SCP, well, not your first SCP, but the first one you got to see live. It started off with a simple one. What do you think?